Listen closely. Right now, before we dive deep, I need you to do something. Go to the comments and type, "I am listening." Just like that. Why? Because what's unfolding requires your full presence, your conscious participation. Don't just hear these words, feel them. Let the universe know you are awake and ready to receive. Do it now. I am listening. All right, brace yourself. The energetic tides are shifting with a speed that's catching millions off guard. This isn't some far-off event. The countdown is on. In less than 48 hours, mark my words, the moon slides into the mutable air sign of Gemini. But this is no ordinary lunar transit. Forget what you think you know about moon phases. What's opening is a rare, high-frequency communication portal, and it's happening smack in the middle of one of the most disorienting, reality-bending Mercury retrogrades we've navigated in years. Do you understand the implications? A Gemini moon, ruled by Mercury itself, activating during its own retrograde cycle? This isn't just astrology as usual. This is the cosmos hitting a resonant frequency, creating an echo chamber that rewires your very perception of reality. It's a phenomenon designed to shake loose old programming, to open channels between your conscious mind and, well, everything else. Have you felt it? Those sudden, inexplicable flashes of memory, maybe from childhood, maybe from something you thought long forgotten? What about unexpected texts, calls, or even just thoughts of people from your past appearing out of the blue? And that strange insomnia, particularly between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m., that window when the veil is thinnest. If any of this resonates, stay locked in. There is a very specific, almost unbelievable reason this is happening to you right now. I'll unveil that critical piece later, so don't you dare drift away. But first, you absolutely must grasp why April 2nd isn't just another Tuesday. It's a cosmic hinge point, a pivot. The universe is literally constructing an energetic bridge, a shimmering pathway between the what was and the infinite what could be. And the tragic truth? Most people will walk right past it, completely oblivious, lost in the mundane, deaf to the cosmic symphony playing out above and within them. They have no idea what's truly at stake, the opportunity slipping through their fingers. But not you, not this time. The energy? It's already crackling. You can taste it in the air, can't you? That weird electric buzz, that tightness in your chest, like something profound is waiting to break free? That almost unnerving sense that the reality you knew yesterday is subtly yet irrevocably different today? Let me be clear, this is not random. This isn't coincidence or paranoia. This is the universe priming you, tuning your frequency, preparing your nervous system for the downloads, the insights, the upgrades that are imminent. 1. Your mind isn't racing, it's receiving. Forget the idea that your thoughts are just chaotic noise right now. Since Mercury spun retrograde, maybe it felt like confusion, like static. But something crucial is shifting. As the moon enters Gemini's realm on April the 2nd, that static resolves. The whispers your intuition has been feeding you, they're about to become crystal clear transmissions. You'll be going about your day, maybe driving, showering, washing dishes, and bam, an idea hits you. Not just any idea, but one so sharp, so insightful, so perfectly timed, it feels like it descended from another dimension. Your mind will feel like it's plugged into a cosmic power source, electric, alive, buzzing with connections you didn't see before. And here's the part most people tragically misunderstand. These are not random firings of synapses. This isn't just your brain being hyperactive because of the retrograde chaos. No. These are meticulously curated data packets being delivered directly to your consciousness. Think of them as puzzle pieces, pieces you've been subconsciously searching for, maybe for months, maybe for years. The Gemini moon, amplified by the retrograde echo, is unlocking dormant sectors of your mind. It's pulling relevant information from the deep archives of your subconscious, tapping into the wisdom of your higher self, and, yes, I'm going there, potentially even accessing what ancient traditions called the Akashic Records, the universal library, the energetic imprint of all that ever was, is, or could be. Knowledge beyond linear time. Now, the conditioned mind, the ego, will try to shut this down. It will tell you, oh, that's just a silly thought. That's impractical. Focus on your deadline, your chores, the real world. And that, my friends, is the single biggest mistake you could make during this window. These flashes of brilliance aren't distractions from your path, they are directions. They are the universe, using the amplified Gemini Mercury energy, literally screaming course corrections at you, trying to nudge you, pull you, sometimes even shove you back onto the trajectory your soul signed up for before you even incarnated. So I implore you, listen. When these insights strike, don't brush them aside. Write them down. Speak them into your phone. Meditate on them. Look for the pattern, because I promise you, the seemingly random dots will connect. It's a message being carefully curated for you. Have you already received such a download? Share a hint of it, carefully, in the comments. What sudden clarity has pierced through the noise for you? 2. Echoes from the past. Why they're calling you now. Let's talk about the ghosts. Not literal ghosts, but the echoes. The people, places, situations from your past suddenly flooding your awareness. That text from an ex you haven't heard from in a decade. That dream so vivid about your childhood home. That specific conversation replaying in your mind with newfound significance. Understand this. None of it is coincidence. Zero. Zip. Nada. The unique energetic signature created by a Gemini moon during a Mercury retrograde does something phenomenal, almost unbelievable. It bends time. Not in a sci-fi movie way, but energetically. It creates ripples, loops, spirals in your personal timeline, pulling you back towards moments, people, and dynamics that still hold unresolved energetic charge. You aren't just remembering these things, you are re-engaging with their energetic imprint on a quantum level. The portal opening isn't just about future potential. It's about past resolution. It's allowing compelling you to rewrite old narratives, to finally close energetic loops that have been draining your power subconsciously, to understand the soul contracts and lessons embedded in those past interactions. And here's the part that might feel unsettling. Some of these connections are resurfacing because their purpose in your story isn't finished. That person who haunts your thoughts, that situation you thought was neatly tied up, there's still juice there. A lesson not fully integrated, a truth you sidestepped, a piece of wisdom you need to extract before you can truly level up and embrace what's coming next. This is precisely why this transit often brings synchronistic encounters with people from the past, unexpected messages that stir old feelings or dreams that feel like visiting another era of your life. The veil between then and now becomes incredibly thin. The perceived distance between the you of yesterday and the you of today collapses. But hear me clearly. This is not about getting stuck in nostalgia or regret. It's not about backward motion. It is about integration. It's about retrieving the fragmented pieces of your wisdom, scattered across your timeline, and bringing them into the power of your present moment. For some, this reunion with a past echo, facing it head-on, will be the precise catalyst needed to shatter a pattern, a limitation they've been wrestling with for lifetimes. Think about it. Who or what from your past has unexpectedly surfaced recently? Don't just dismiss it. Ask yourself, what is the unresolved energy here? What lesson is waiting for my attention? 3. Your voice is changing. The communication upgrade. Something profound is happening to how you communicate, isn't it? Words might feel different, loaded. Conversations might take unexpected turns, flowing with an ease or intensity that surprises you. Thoughts you've struggled to articulate for ages might suddenly find perfect expression. This isn't just Mercury retrograde causing crossed wires and misunderstandings, although yes, that potential is still there, demanding extra clarity. This is deeper. The Gemini moon is actively rewiring the communication centers in your energetic and physical bodies. Language itself, your personal expression, is undergoing a cosmic software update. How you formulate ideas, how you translate inner knowing into spoken or written word, how those words land, their energetic impact on others, it's all shifting, intensifying. Some of you might find yourselves becoming unexpectedly poetic, expressing deep emotions with a grace that feels channeled. Others might experience a surge of directness, cutting through fluff and speaking raw, sometimes uncomfortable truth, a liberation and a terror all at once. And some will tap into something even more fascinating: telepathic subtext. You'll start hearing what's not being said. You'll perceive the emotions, the hidden agendas, the soul's true message beneath the surface words. Conversations become multidimensional. But, and this is a critical warning, with this enhanced communicative power comes immense responsibility. The words you choose to speak during this potent window, especially April 2nd and 3rd, carry amplified weight. They have an increased capacity to heal or wound, create or destroy, uplift or anchor. Choose consciously. Pay attention not just to what you say, but the intention and energy embedded within your words. Right now, you're not just talking, you're casting. Every significant conversation is a form of ritual. Every declaration is setting an energetic trajectory. Feel that buzzing around your throat, that urge to speak up about things long suppressed. Notice subtle shifts in your actual voice tone or resonance. That's your throat chakra, Vishuddha, activating, clearing, preparing itself to transmit and receive these higher frequency communications. Don't stifle it, but wield it wisely. What truth is aching to be spoken through you right now? 4. The duality rift. Reality feels split. Now we venture into territory most astrological interpretations barely touch upon. The true power, the deeper mystery of Gemini energy. It's not just about chit-chat and ideas, it's the sign of the twins, of duality, polarity, the mirror reflecting infinite possibilities. During this portal, you're likely to experience something that can feel profoundly disorienting: reality splitting. One moment, you're grounded in your familiar life. The next, you get a fleeting, almost holographic glimpse of an alternate timeline, a path not taken, a choice made differently, a version of you living a life parallel to this one. Let me be absolutely clear. These are not mere daydreams. This isn't wishful thinking or your imagination running wild. These are, in my understanding and experience, actual timeline bleed-throughs. moments where the energetic membrane separating parallel realities becomes permeable, allowing you to sense, perceive, or even momentarily feel what exists alongside your current trajectory. You might suddenly know, with unshakable certainty, how a situation from years ago would have unfolded if you'd turned left instead of right. You might catch yourself using a phrase, exhibiting a mannerism, or having a preference that feels distinctly not yours, because it belongs to another version of you on a divergent path. You might feel an inexplicable pull towards skills or knowledge you've never formally learned in this life. Here's where this transit becomes incredibly potent. If you know how to navigate it, you can consciously interact with this duality. You can draw wisdom, courage, forgotten strengths, and valuable insights from these alternate yous. You can learn from their mistakes or successes without having to live them directly. You can intentionally integrate the most beneficial aspects of those other timelines into your current reality. Imagine the acceleration in your growth. However, this split consciousness can also feel incredibly destabilizing. You might wrestle with intense indecision, feeling torn between equally compelling options. You might feel like two distinct personalities are warring within you, with conflicting desires, beliefs, and truths. It can feel like fragmentation. The key is integration, not selection. This isn't about choosing timeline A over timeline B. It's about embracing the both/and principle, expanding your sense of self to encompass the multifaceted, multidimensional nature of your soul's expression across realities. You contain multitudes. This transit is reminding you of that profound truth. If you've been feeling off lately, like you woke up in a slightly wrong reality, or like you're living someone else's script, this is why. You're not losing your mind. Your consciousness is expanding to perceive more of its own vastness. How are you navigating this feeling of duality? Are you resisting it or leaning into the integration? 5. The Purge. Old fears rising for final release. There's a shadow aspect to this luminous portal, and ignoring it would be foolish. As this potent Gemini energy builds, as the gateway cracks wider, the things you've diligently buried, even from yourself, are being forced to the surface. Old fears you thought conquered, deep-seated anxieties, that relentless inner critic you swore you'd silenced. They're going to get louder, more insistent, more visceral. It might feel like a major setback, like all your healing work was for nothing, like you're sliding backward into old, painful patterns. Hold on, breathe. Here is the critical truth. These fears aren't resurfacing to torment you indefinitely. They are rising to be released, permanently. The amplified Gemini Mercury energy isn't trying to re-traumatize you. It's acting like a cosmic magnet, pulling these dense, low-vibrational frequencies up from the depths of your subconscious so you can finally see them clearly, understand their roots, often in past lives or ancestral trauma, acknowledge their message, and consciously choose to let them go, once and for all. This is why many experience intense, symbolic, or just plain bizarre nightmares leading into such transits. It's why old insecurities suddenly feel raw and painfully relevant. It's why you might find yourself mentally replaying cringe-worthy moments or past failures on a loop. Your psyche isn't punishing you, it's purging. It's clearing out corrupted files and outdated programming to make space. Space for the new insights. Point 1, the resolved connections. Point 2, the upgraded communication. Point 3, the integrated self. Point 4, and the hidden solutions we're about to discuss. Point 6. But understand, before the new architecture can be built, The old, rotten structures must be demolished. And demolition is rarely neat or quiet. It can be messy, uncomfortable, even painful. The individuals who resist this purge, who distract themselves, numb out, try to push the rising fears back down, they will remain energetically constipated, stuck in the old frequency. But you, if you choose to face it, to sit with the discomfort, maybe using tools like journaling, breathwork, EFT, tapping, or seeking support, to allow the emotions to move through you without judgment. The liberation on the other side is profound. It's like a dense fog lifting suddenly, static clearing from a radio channel. The ability to perceive your life, your potential, your path, without the heavy filters of old trauma and fear. That clarity, that lightness, that's when the real magic ignites. What old fear is knocking on your door right now, asking for release? Be brave. Acknowledge it. 6. Memory banks unlocked. Finding solutions in your past and beyond. Remember earlier I mentioned a specific reason for those sudden memory flashes and vivid recollections? This is it. This is huge. Your brain isn't just taking a random stroll down memory lane, it is actively retrieving, accessing encrypted files, pulling up archived data, information, wisdom, solutions that you desperately need right now, but had completely forgotten you possessed. Think of your consciousness, up until now, as running on a limited, outdated operating system. You've been making decisions, solving complex problems, navigating life's challenges using only a tiny fraction of the vast database stored within your soul's full history. But this Gemini moon portal, supercharged by Mercury retrograde's reflective power, is initiating a full system restore. Memories that seem totally random, a snippet of conversation from childhood, the feeling of reading a certain book years ago, a fleeting dream image you dismissed. They are surging back because they contain embedded codes, fragments of answers, pieces of the puzzle for challenges you're currently facing. Your mind is performing incredible feats of cross-timeline data correlation, connecting dots across your entire existence to illuminate the complete picture. And here's where it gets even more mind-bending. Some of the memories or knowings surfacing aren't even from this current lifetime. That persistent illogical déjà vu, the innate understanding of complex subjects you never studied, the uncanny familiarity with places you've never visited, the skills you seem to possess without ever having learned them. These are often bleed-throughs, echoes, memories from past incarnations, or even parallel experiences. The veil between lifetimes thins dramatically during transits like this. The artificial walls we erect between past, present, and future dissolve, granting you temporary, high-bandwidth access to the complete library of your soul's journey, not just this single chapter. Pay attention, fiercely, to what arises from your memory banks during this period. That seemingly irrelevant childhood memory? It likely holds the key attitude or belief needed for your current obstacle. That strange dream about an unknown ancient city? It might be pointing towards your soul's lineage or a direction your path needs to take. That skill or hobby you're suddenly inexplicably drawn to explore? It's not new. It's being remembered, reactivated. Your mind isn't playing tricks. For perhaps the first time, it's playing fair, giving you access to the totality of your wisdom, not just the limited subset dictated by linear perception and societal conditioning. What forgotten piece of your puzzle has memory just handed back to you? 7. The critical 48-hour window, April 2nd and 3rd, where destiny is forged. This brings us to the absolute crux, the most vital piece of this entire transmission. While the energetic influence of this Gemini moon will ripple outwards for days, there exists a sacred, peak-intensity 48-hour window. This is when the portal is fully, undeniably open, when the veil is thinnest, when the energy is at maximum potency, when the opportunity for conscious creation and transformation is unparalleled. April the 2nd and April the 3rd. Burn these dates into your awareness. Mark your calendar not just with ink, but with intention. Clear your schedule as much as humanly possible. Minimize distractions. Create sacred space for yourself, even if it's just for brief periods throughout these 2 days. Because this is not just another blip on the astrological radar. This specific alignment, Gemini moon conjunct Mercury retrograde, with all the background planetary weather, creates a unique cosmic resonance that will not repeat in this exact configuration for years to come. During these crucial 48 hours, the communication channels, both mundane and psychic, are wide open. Messages will flow with astonishing clarity and speed. Synchronicities will multiply exponentially. The signs you've been desperately asking for will appear, perhaps subtly, perhaps blatantly, in ways that are impossible to ignore if you are paying attention. Decisions made during this window carry extraordinary energetic weight. They are not just choices, they are declarations of intent to the universe. They are not just plans, they are commitments that the cosmos witnesses and actively begins to co-create with you. Actions taken, seeds planted, intentions set during April 2nd and 3rd will gain unnatural momentum. Things set in motion now will unfold with a speed and power that can feel almost miraculous. Now, the stark reality is that many will sleepwalk through these 2 days. They'll treat it like any other Tuesday and Wednesday. They'll be consumed by routine, oblivious to the cosmic currents, deaf to the whispers of guidance, blind to the signs flashing all around them. And later, maybe weeks or months down the line, they'll feel a vague sense of regret, a nagging feeling that they missed something vital, that a crucial opportunity slipped away unnoticed. But that will not be your story, because you are here, you are listening, you know, you understand that April 2nd and 3rd aren't just dates, they are divine appointments. Appointments with your higher self, with your potential, with your destiny. So the question isn't if the portal is opening. The question is, what will you do with this knowledge? How will you consciously engage with this amplified energy? What messages are you finally, truly ready to receive without flinching? What outdated reality are you willing to release? What new vibration are you ready to claim? The portal is opening. The bridge is forming. The universe is extending an invitation. This time, you don't have to stumble across it blindly. You can walk towards it with awareness, with intention, with power. The choice, as always, rests with you. Use this awareness. Use this window. Don't let it pass you by. If this transmission resonated, if you felt the truth in these words, please support this channel by clicking that subscribe button. It truly makes a difference and allows us to continue bringing you this level of insight. Your like also helps signal to the algorithms that this information is valuable. Share your experiences, your intentions for this portal, or any questions you have in the comments below. Let's create a community of conscious navigators through these powerful times. Until the next transmission, stay aware, stay empowered, and take care.